UFO over White House. Why Gov. classified this incident, witnessed by thousands of Americans. In 1952, the U.S. had the most massive UFO sightings. The event, also known as the Big Flap, had credible reports by civilian and military radar operators and pilots. The incident caught the attention of the CIA, astrophysicists, as well as President Harry Truman, and scientist Albert Einstein, who took part in the discussion of those events. But after preliminary research, all the data was classified, and the head of the UFO project died under mysterious circumstances. On the night of July 20, Washington airport radars recorded 7 flying objects around 15.5 miles from the Capitol. The senior controller contacted the Air Force, and they also noticed the strange objects were approaching the Capitol. The objects flew at a speed of 2,000 miles per hour. What is more, the objects hovered over the White House and U.S. Capitol building at around 4 in the morning. Military fighters were sent to patrol the airspace, but as soon as they approached the objects, they disappeared with lightning speed. Then, the pilots were ordered to return to the base, but as soon as they did, the objects returned back. It was assumed that all radio communications were being tapped by the UFOs. All major newspapers started reporting the UFOs over the White House. According to the Washington Post, the number of UFO sightings reported to the Air Force jumped from 23 in March to 148 in June 1952. This was the main cause that would eventually lead President Harry Truman to order the shooting down of the flying saucers. The Air Force gave a command order on July 26, 1952, "Shoot them down." According to a historical report, renowned scientists like Albert Einstein and others interrupted and told the president it was not a good idea as it would be against the intergalactic peace. The order given to the Air Force to shoot down the flying saucers was consequently withdrawn at the White House at 5 in the afternoon. However, that same night, the UFOs would return. Project Blue Book and the mysterious death of the ufologist. For 22 years, from 1947 to 1969, the United States Air Force UFO research programs known as Projects Sign, Grudge and Blue Book. U.S. Air Force officer Edward Ruppelt was the director of Project Grudge. From late 1951 until it became Project Blue Book in March 1952. The April 1952 issue of Life magazine has the eye-catching headline, "There is a case for interplanetary saucers." The article, written with Ruppelt's full cooperation, explained the Air Force's national security interest in UFOs. And it made a convincing case, through the colorful retelling of 10 unexplained UFO incidents, that these unidentified objects were extraterrestrial in origin. In his book, The Report on Unidentified Flying Objects, Edward Ruppelt intended to set out the whole truth about UFOs. The most interesting thing began in the second half of the 1950s, when Ruppelt changed his point of view about UFOs. He made an official statement on television that alien civilizations is nothing more than the nonsense of ufologists. In 1959, Ruppelt broke off communication with his colleagues, and a year later, he died of a heart